the sanctum. You see, I got a few movies in the background. I used to be an avid DVD collector before everything went digital. I got a million movies here, so I never could be bored. Welcome to the walkthrough. This is the first episode, and this show I'm going to be talking to some of your favorite artists, certainly my favorite artists, and we're going to be talking about their career, their life, having a good time, man. And very first inaugural episode, I had to turn to family. None other than my man Currency, all the way down to NO. Oh, there you go. There goes the brother.
Word.
The very first episode, man. Thank you for being my first guest.
This the first crew. This the first time we bring in the car. This is like when we build a lowrider and you're washing it on Saturday to bring it out for the first time Sunday. This is our first Sunday cruise right here. This the inaugural cruise.
Nothing but smooth sailing.
Nothing but smooth sailing. That's a good record too.
I love it.
Shit.
For the people that don't know, me and C, we go back
man, all the way. Come on, man.
15, 20 years, man.
For people that don't know, my dog Shaheem toured with me, rolling on the bus, fucking could have got popped for riding around with all the bud and shit and was just making moves, touring with us. That shit was love, man. I had a blast. I hope at some point when the world opens up and we're allowed to perform in front of our friends and family again, that you'll get on the bus with me and take another ride, man.
Oh, of course. I'm getting on the bus regardless, man. Even if we're going down the street and we ain't going to a show.
Even if it's the public transportation bus, you're going to roll with me. That's right.
I got a chance to ride in a few of his old schools, man.
That's right. I got some shit outside right now too. Shit, before we could walk, before the sun go down, there ain't nothing to lift this door here.
Yeah, let's see what it's like.
I got little cars. I got big cars. Let's see what we can do.
Anything with wheels, we getting in the wheels.
Let's see what we could do, man. That's for that's the wife rip right there.
Ah, I love it.
I just took that away. I think that's what made the damn COVID fucking happen because I got multiple roses, so then I got in trouble. The world just went on freeze. Got the 5 right here, 65.
Woo!
Got the 5.7 right there.
We got to talk about that paint job first, man. Look
this baby
on that, man.
Yeah, this from my neighborhood right here, man. You see on the back, man. East Side 65, much better off. That's one of my favorite Smokey Robinson songs. But I love my neighborhood, bro. I mean, even when I got a little paper, I moved like out of my hood, but into the swankiest part of my hood anyway. It's still the East. I'm still East Side, but like I'm in a gated community, but some people still be like, man, that's the Wild East. Shit's happening. I didn't want to move like away. It's still on, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
what you gonna do? I feel, things happen, but I feel like I'm good on this side, so this where I'm standing,
See, we on Twitch right now. I know you went to the games.
I'm live right now, so listen.
Yeah, we live.
Is there a way I can take this link and put this motherfucker on my socials right now?
Yeah, we can definitely do it.
Well, listen. Let me get this to my phone. I'm saying this. People need to know we banging it out, man.
Yeah. Just put that. I text.
To move.
Yeah, he got the joint. I texted to him.
Well, maybe you know what? Maybe one of the homies did it on my behalf, but
I'm gonna throw it on the gram real quick.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe somebody did it on my behalf, but I would like to find my other jack. What the fuck? I was just in here with it.
Yeah. I don't know. They were saying, can you do Insta Live? But I don't know if he could do Insta Live because we on his phone.
I mean, how I'm gonna do? What you mean? How I'm gonna go? I can aim my phone at this. That's what they mean?
Okay, let's try it.
I gotta find a motherfucker. Oh, all right. Yeah.
First episode, so we cutting edge, baby. We cutting edge.
Yeah, we just like I said, this is the first episode, so we might as well just
main page right now.
We gonna push it to the limits, man. So
we on Twitch main page.
I got the link right here. It's live. I'm taking this to I'm gonna copy this and send this to my Twitter. Then we gonna go on Instagram live and aim the phone at this. Yeah, that's what
we're doing. Let's do it.
We with that.
I love it. I'm with it all the way.
All right. So, bro, what you been doing to keep yourself sane throughout the quarantine? Like, what's your
you know what
what hobbies have you tapped into?
No hobbies. I never took myself out of work mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you treating this like a vacation, you ain't gonna get nothing done, man. And
you got it.
I've been doing interviews.
There's always ways to continue your work, man. This is just a challenge. Motherfuckers just gotta figure out what they're gonna do. It's on my Instagram live right now.
Yeah, tell them we on Twitch front page right now. So it's all love, but like I really work, man. Like every day I'm doing. I feel like I gotta do an interview, at least one interview every day.
You do. And it's a necessity. We need you so that we feel like shit might be okay at some point. It's so fucked up, you know what I'm saying? We kind of need you, bro. Like, this is good for me, just to be able to talk to you and shit and feel like I'm still in the game and feel like the industry and everything is still all right. Like, I get this opportunity to do this because at the end of the day, we haven't been, like, we already know we can't perform. We can't do shit like that musically, but for a motherfucker like me that got a lot of music stacked up and pretty much live in the studio, that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? But
live in the studio.
It's a whole new world now, and it's good and it's bad. But the good part is, if you're innovative and you can think, you can figure out the new voids that have been created with this and provide something that is need, people need. You might invent something in this time. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is different, and when the world open back up, shit gonna be different. It's not gonna be the same shit. So everybody got to change their hustle and change their program a bit. Like even partying, throwing an after party. Like me and my partner was talking about getting a little venue to throw day parties in, and like halfway through checking the place out, my homeboy was like, "So when the world open back up, bro, like, what we gonna let 10 people in this motherfucker? Like, cause everybody gonna have to stand 6 feet apart. Even when the shit get back right, it's changed so much that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that report? It was on CNN yesterday. They were saying social distancing might go until 2022.
Yeah, well, that's what my homeboys brought up to me today. One of them said 2024. I'm like, what the fuck? But 2022 is, bruh, shit. I mean, look at it like this. If you could still move around and go get your essentials and shit, and you can still, like, outside exercise, I mean, it's really just reverting back to, like, the times that we weren't this age. Maybe this is like what the 60s was like, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers is tuning into themselves, making pottery and shit. Fuck it. This might be what it's about.
I mean, this is the first time, man. Like, it's always, it's funny because we was talking to Little Yachty earlier, right? And he was just talking about how us OGs or older cats, like when we used to want to find out when the album was coming out, we go to the store. It'll be on the board, whatever.
Believe that. The whole thing is changed, Jack. None of the people we use is completely different. Look at this. You don't need a rollout, technically, now. You don't need to roll out.
Right.
Physical street teams hitting up street posts and hitting up outside the clubs and shit. Like, all that's gone. It's just, I'm going to make a post. I'm going to make a link. They're going to fuck with it or they ain't going to fuck with it.
Yeah, like I just saw the baby. He dropping, I think he dropping on Friday.
Yeah.
He did like a little video around his crib, just vibing, just having fun, and that's how it's gonna go.
The album's out. It's album Friday.
But I wonder, like, how our I gotta ask my mother this. I never asked her, like, how did they find out that albums was coming out, or did the album just come out and they just gotta catch up to it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was watching
all of that.
a documentary, and motherfucker was talking about not going to the record store, but wherever they would hang at, the coolest motherfucker that would walk in and be like, "Oh, the new, I just got that such and such vinyl." You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, it's like, "Oh shit, didn't know that happened," and they go and grab it.
That word of mouth.
Yeah, that was the street. It was different, bro. Those were times, like hearing about those times, I know I would have thrived in those times. Not that I didn't do well in my era that I'm in, but at a time like that, I feel like just because I'm not a gimmick driven artist, there's no, I'm humorous when I'm talking to my friends, but I'm not like in the grocery store making a jackass out of myself and telling my friend to take me backflip off the roof of the fucking store or some shit, or kicking the windows out, and then drop the album. You feel me?
Gimmicks. It's no gimmicks.
Yeah, so fuck.
It's no gimmicks. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yo, we gotta walk through your house, man. And slid through the garage. Where you watch your movies at? That's your chill. That's your chill section.
Yeah, this is my zone right here, man. I just
solid.
It's got like a little 65-inch TV.
What you listening to in there? TVs, I don't get. Listen, I have the worst TVs in the industry. My buddies come to my house and it's like, bro, like, you're doing well, man. Like, what's this 27-inch joint? What's this Vizio? Like, then I got Vizio. When I did get fucking those hip TVs that you put on the wall, like, and they aren't even that big. They're like 55 inches. But fucking, they were like Vizio and shit. I don't know. They were the Walmart brand.
Vizio's alright, man.
I think it's great. The motherfucker shows my video games just clear. Scarface looked like Scarface in my house, same way he looked at motherfucking Rick Ross' house. On his TV, it still looked like Scarface. So, Vizio's all right with me.
Yeah, but you again to your question, what I've been listening to, man. You know what I was vibing off, man? I was vibing off 2001 Def Jam the other day. I mean, actually today and yesterday. So I was playing all of the old Luda first albums. I played
Luda Professional. Yeah. Well, he's holding the chain with the question mark on it. When Fabulous was Fabulous Sport.
Fabulous Sport.
I fucked with it. Homies on my corner was like, man, I don't know if it's gonna work. Dude, sound like Mace. I'm like, no, he don't. This shit is gonna go. And fucking lo and behold, bow. FABO, LOUS. I knew it from the jump when he had that beat. No video, no nothing. Nobody knew what was going on. Then the next thing you know, he was on fucking TV with Lil Mo. Then he was on that motherfucker with Nate Dogg, with the Cadillac, with the Jerry Rice fucking throwback and shit.
Yeah.
Then it was on after that. Then everybody fucking going Mitchell and that's crazy and shit.
Nah, that's how you debut, man. Let's take it back, because we not just walking through the crib, we walking through careers, man. Like your debut, man, taking it all the way back to starting off in the mixtape game. How important was that to you? You seeing all of these guys, you're seeing the Fabs, Jadas, everybody.
I didn't know if I was gonna get my turn. Like, picture this. I was thinking about this today. Like, some of like watching shit work for people.
Mm-hmm.
I understand how people end up hating on me sometimes. People hate on you when you do well sometimes. And it comes from a place of where they may have become discouraged by watching you do something and inside they so they fact they just flat out can't do it. Like watching motherfuckers make it when I wasn't in position and couldn't it didn't seem like doors were gonna be open at all. I was like, maybe I just like should not fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
How old was you around this time?
Honestly, bro, I felt like that until fucking 2009, dog. Like,
what?
Listen, because every situation that I was in, no matter how good the trappings of being in that situation where I had all the shit all the time, but fucking I wasn't projecting the image I wanted to. Motherfuckers didn't really know who I was and what I was into. I was just always like somebody in the midst of something that was already a force, like already a moving thing. Like Master P, his fucking brothers, damn near the Jackson 5, and then his kid, fucking Lil Romeo, and I'm there, you know, trying to fucking push my fucking shit about just getting dressed and fucking cruising around. So there was really no room. And then you go to Cash Money and fucking you got the fucking phenom of rap as your buddy, and the company and everything and Universal, everything is aimed, you know, is focused on dude and making sure everything's straight for dude. So you can't blame motherfuckers. You gotta carve your lane and just and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have the relationship I have with all those situations I've been in. Nobody's my enemy. Nobody feel no kind of way because through it all, you know, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I would have to set my own thing up. I never tried to use nobody as a stepping stone, or never spoke illy of any of them to draw more attention to me when there were less eyes on me. I just figured it would all happen through me just being cool, and it did. You know, like when I first time I saw a fucking Baby since I left Cash Money, that was the first thing we spoke about. He was like, "Man, I like how you did your shit. You split. You ain't say shit. You know what I'm saying?" And the next thing I know, you know, you at this. I was at the BMI Awards, I think, because they were honoring them, and I was at that shit. And he was like, "Bro, like, you know, you did your shit. We hear about you, so that's tight. And you do it without dissing. You know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I mean it's no gimmicks, man. You almost, I mean, although y'all personalities are two totally different vibes, but you almost did like the Stone Cold Steve Austin. You remember when he first came to WWE, he was the ring master, sort of a stiff guy, and you know this is somebody who we follow. We were busy in the ring, but there wasn't really letting his personality shine through. He was getting the cosigns from the legend.
Damn. Yo, you just did that. You just did that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know how we piece it together.
Good, great.
You just needed a chance to let your personality shine.
Yeah, that's what happened, bro. You know, so the mixtape era was important to me because it gave me a chance to let people know what kind of music I was into, because the beats I was picking to rap over was all like older shit, like fucking one of my favorite instrumentals I remember was like Duck Down, and fucking Break of Dawn by De La Soul. Somebody rapping over that shit in 2008, 2009, 2010, like made people understand that I had an ear, and I must have been somewhere off the grid listening to real hip hop and being a student of the game. And when I got a chance, I wanted to carry it in a certain light with a respect, you know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers know who I was. And it looks like that's what went down, you know. So
we adopted you in New York almost right off the bat.
Listen, and that shit was so big to me, and it made me bring more people around. You understand me? Like out there living in New York, like I'm like, yo, shit is good. Fucking and hang like me and Crit busting moves, Wiz coming through, fucking the cool kids and shit would be coming around. Like it was good out there.
How long did you live in NY?
2 years. Can I tell you something, man? I performed at BB King's. Dame had just, I don't know how he did this, but some kind of way he just wiggled me into this performing at this shit because it was Raekwon and Ghostface was performing last, and fucking and the homie, bro, OJ the Juice Man went up.
Is that when he got booed?
Bruh, yeah, bruh. And we sitting in the fucking walkway before you go on stage, and it's like, yo, they just booed fucking OJ the Juice Man. The dude have like a top 10 fucking record right now. And I'm about to go out here with songs maybe 7 of these kids have heard. I don't know what's about to happen. And it's fucking me and Wiz just smoking joints in the hallway, and then we walked out, and it was the shit. Like, it was the shit. And I was like, oh, like, they fuck with this. Like, I could tell people who didn't know me, but the beats that I was rapping on, it was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, this is the last time I'm gonna hang with Dame Dash, because right now he's so caught up in how cool I am that he just thinks I'm cool enough to show up in fucking BB King's and I'm gonna rap and win these people like it's some fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Like Step It Up or some shit. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. Like that's flat out how it happened. Like motherfuckers loved me. Fucking Raekwon ended up on my album. Man, Styles P became like, that dude's like my brother now. Like all that shit came out of that night. And New York was so cool to me, and everybody that I fucked with me. Like Camp Low came to I think Camp Low might have came in the studio when I was doing Airborne Aquarium, some of those Pilot Talk records and shit. And I remember laying the verses and like, don't fuck up in front of fucking Geechee Suede and Sonny Chiba, bro. It's fucking Camp Low in here. Deliver the verse smooth, you know? I remember thinking like that. Fucking Talib Kweli, like that's my big homie now, but like dude just came to the studio one time, like Dan would have me in the midst of motherfuckers just because he felt like, nah, Shorty's cool, he can flow. So he'd just bring motherfuckers through, and it was, you know, but it's cool because they all fucked with how I got down. I was poised in those situations. Like Black Thought is a lyricist I respect, and he still reaches out and checks on me to this day, like Most Def and shit too. Like me and Black Thought just did a record like a couple weeks ago. I'm waiting on him to drop that motherfucker. Like it's crazy what New York.
You know what it is though? See, it's like people get twisted. People think that New York don't mess with people based off geographics. That's not true.
That's what I thought. Listen, that's what I was telling them. Like, bro, I just saw what just happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the hallway, like, dude, you're gonna have people not fucking with you because you fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. These people want Raekwon and Ghost to come out. They don't have time for this shit. But them motherfuckers lit I'm talking about, they smoked that bitch out. And I saw so many jet lights in the album.
They respect how you get off on that stage. They respect it. If you spitting lyrically, and if you're not super lyrical, if you got a crazy ass stage show. Because I done seen Digital Underground tear the Apollo to shreds.
Come on, I could dig it. Man. Well, look, but that's like Parliament. Okay. I feel like if Parliament can't perform in New York City, you know what I'm saying? Digital Underground came with that same thing. Fucking, but like Crit had a bump or two making his moves in New York at the beginning, and then motherfuckers had to sit back and realize they just got shook up because he came out running the hook to country shit. And they like was like, wait, what's about to happen? You know what I'm saying? I don't remember what venue that was when they kind of bugged out a little bit when my homie came out and was doing this record, but then it looped around and everybody loves it. I wonder if some of those same people who heckled are the people who have like Forever and fucking his albums. They're probably definitely multi fucking alumni fans at this point.
Yeah, everybody that's watching this on Twitch, if y'all got some questions, come on, send the Twitch. Oh, there's somebody that says Nonsense Ninja says, is there any chance for another static selector?
Yeah, shit. We about to do another Gran Turismo album. We're gonna do bonus tracks.
Oh
But
man,
but understand that the album was named as a tip of my hat to the video game Gran Turismo. So when you hear that it's gonna be called bonus tracks, that doesn't mean additional songs. It means additional courses to drive on. So it's a play on words because it is bonus tracks. But it's like if you were playing a video game, if you were into those games, and you get one of those DLC packs where you down the downloaded content that you can add to your game, and now you got new building structures or a different pack of guns or different cars and shit like that. That's essentially what it is.
Costumes.
It's what it is. Yeah, it's an update. It's an update for your previous purchase. You know.
Static Selector is ill because, you know, he does all of the grimy underground super hip hop stuff, but he could really tear down a party. Like I've been to a party that Static Selector DJ.
Yo, he's one of the he could DJ for a soda. Like if fucking 7-Up was throwing the 7-Up bash, they would have fucking Static Selector because not only is he gonna play Tribe Called Quest, this motherfucker might drop motherfucking he's gonna drop Beastie Boys to the fucking B-52s or some shit. That's the same shit I realized about D Nice, bro. D Nice is a legend and we know one another. You know what I'm saying? But I know he made his bones in hip hop. But when I click on the motherfucking on his DJing sessions on live, and he's playing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? Shot the kind I feel for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you like, of course, you are a fucking DJ. You have to know how to touch everybody who might come to that thing that you DJing. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be stuck in one thing. I'm a hip hop DJ, so they know what they gonna hear when they come to my shit. You gotta know how to play all that shit, man. Especially in the money. In the money, people like different shit. So you might be DJing some shit for the fucking Tiger King when he come home. Tiger King don't want to hear. Tiger King don't want to hear motherfucking Magnolia. If I play Boy Carter, Tiger King want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Something else, but you better know how to have.
That's not the craziest show you ever seen in your life.
Listen, it honestly was, but it wasn't because I toured so much that I know those type of people exist from truck stops. Like, there's a truck stop in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and there's a Tiger at that motherfucker. So, you know what I'm saying? At the gas station, in a cage, chilling out, bummed the fuck out, is not doing Tiger shit, like running around and jumping off shit, is bummed out, laying on the fucking patch of hay. I hope he's still alive. This was some years ago. But fucking the fact that I saw that at the gas station, I know, you know, that's what happens. It's not always, there's one cool guy, Brother Nature or something, whatever that dude is. And there's like a little Tarzan dude, some kind of viral guy. He's okay.
Oh, but yeah, Black Tarzan.
Yeah, there's that. But then there's also fucking outright Tiger Kings. And the other dude, homie, who was kind of like a fucking, was that polygamous?
Oh,
Doctor, whatever the fuck, the blind hair dude, right? Who his name meant Lord. He changed his name. Whatever the fuck that dude, the blonde hair dude name was, he is insane. Insane. And fucking Carol Baskin, she's so pissed off at these guys for exploiting the cats. But that's how you made your fucking bones, baby. You can't even trip. That's some hypocritical shit, but it's cool. That's what they do. But it's crazy watching them do that to one another. Like, it's like,
and they say hip hop is a dog eat dog world. Look what they doing in that.
It's a cat eat husband world in the tiger business.
Oh,
and listen, that young lady said that it was unthinkable, no way she could do that, blah, blah, blah. within 10 minutes, in a reference to somebody else disappearing, she's like, "Oh, there's no way a tiger can eat somebody unless you put olive oil on." You would have to oil his old body up for the tigers to want to eat. Bitch, how you know?
She did it.
Yeah, brother. It's crazy that we watching it, but it's not crazy because I mean, we're watching the shit that's happening in the government. We're looking at all this shit that seems like it's a movie. So the fact that Carol Baskin exists, you know what I'm saying, the Tiger King exists, is not a shock. The Tiger King, there's an article in my newspaper that says that he's actually over the moon right now about being so popular and being so famous and being like a Netflix fucking #1. He's not stoked about being in jail, but he's pumped about his fucking celebrity status. But I also read that he wasn't keen on the fact that he couldn't say the N-word. He uses it and he uses it. He didn't think anything was wrong with that, and he had like problems, you know what I'm saying? Like people would the guy who put together the Tiger King thing, there's a cutting room floor full of racial excerpts.
What did you think about the racer that just got kicked out of the NASCAR for saying the N-word?
I didn't know that, but I always felt like NASCAR was fucking, you know, I always felt like that was, I don't talk like this, man. So I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but that was their thing. Like, I feel like they feel like we should fuck with that. And with me being a car fan, and since a baby, I learned that early, just in going to Monster Jam and shit as a little boy. And some of those trucks were not in the 80s. A Confederate flag was like, it wasn't so much of a, oh shit, you know? And in the South, so fucking monster trucks flinging the Confederate flag, I would draw that. Like I used to like Dukes of Hazzard too. So I would draw cars and put that motherfucking flag on shit when I was like fucking 5 and 6, and my dad had to break that down to me, what was going on. And then I remember as I got older, we would go to Monster Jam. I remember he got into I didn't hear it or understand, you know, what was said, but some racial shit happened as I was a little boy, like at the Superdome with my dad watching the monster trucks. But motorsports, that division of motorsports, NASCAR and monster trucks, mud bogging, all that kind of shit. That's not what I say, but there's a certain demographic, a certain class of folks, and what do they say? They refer to them about the color of their necks. They refer to that as how they classify that group, but that group feels an ownership to those motorsports the same way they might say we have an ownership of basketball, even though we didn't create it. But it's like, you know, that's kind of our sport, and that's their sport.
Kyle Larson, who's the driver, Carl Larson, he was fired.
Who was he talking about? There are black drivers now. So
it was having a virtual race. It was having a virtual race, and he said the N-word. Oh, we just got word. Greece is watching us, man. To all the people in Greece.
Oh, I see somebody ask me about my kid and shit. Yo, Cruz is awesome. Cruz is in the room doing Monster Jam, driving little trucks over the ramp. Yes, I am back taking my Hot Wheel photos. I'm building these dioramas. If you want me to make you one, Shaheem, I could lace you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I get crazy with that. I could hook you up with something.
I would love it, man.
I got real street lights and shit. What I'm actually doing in a minute, I'm gonna do a car show. I'm gonna do a car show from right there, where I have cause I got a lot of cars that my hip hop buddies have in real life, like in their garages or outside of their houses and shit. So I'm gonna tag them and use those, and I'm gonna make a car show. And since we can't go outside, you know, I'm gonna make a car show setting and set music to it and post it online.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. You know, fuck, what else you gonna do, man? I'm building bikes. We got this Jet Life bike. We about to start pushing these motherfuckers. Shout out to the fucking legendary SC. They sent me this fucking PK Ripper right here. So that's really what I've been doing, man. Just fucking. Now I got my lowrider bike.
Ooh, the
You
paint.
know, I just been tapping into my hobbies, man. My RCs, my fucking building my trucks and shit. You know, it's
Let me
good.
ask you this, man, because you know, obviously all the sports are shut down too. They talking about possibly bringing back the NBA with no crowd, with no spectators.
Do
One,
it.
how
They should do it. They should do it.
I want to know how you feel about sports with no audience, but how do you feel about rappers or just artists in particular performing? Like, say they wanted you to go to.
Oh, I'm doing a 420 concert from the House of Blues, Jack, with me.
So this for money.
At 420, I'm doing a concert.
Woo!
Yeah, you kidding me? We gonna make that fucking flyer when I get off of here. Like that was discussed today at the office, man. We was
First, yeah.
but we doing that shit. I'm doing a concert April 20th, man.
I would love to. Me and my partners would love to stream it for you.
Well, when we get off of this, and
Yeah, we talk.
Man.
Yeah, 420. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm doing the concert, man. Holla and move, man. You know.
I'm gonna holla at him, man.
Man, see, bro. If you get to LA, because that's where it's legal, so I can't help you nowhere else. Get out. Well, this is legal other places, but we not purveyors of our fine goods in those places. But if you get to LA during this pandemic time, and you need to sit down and social distance, I can hook you up with a jar of Andretti.
Well,
And you will be so stunned that you won't allow people within 60 feet of you because you won't want to have conversations with them. It's the perfect social distance prescription because you lock into yourself. You're answering questions you've been asking yourself for quite some time. You're freestyling in your head. You're doing all kind of shit.
how deep are you gonna get into that field, man? As the cannabis field opens up in more and more cities, more and more states. Period.
I plan to be the Juan Valdez of the marijuana game. All right, I'm gonna be synonymous with quality marijuana. Same way when you think about some good coffee, you think about Juan Valdez and his little fucking mule with those sacks on it, fucking laying across full of the beans. That's pretty much me. When you think about bud, you know that I wouldn't fuck around. I wouldn't reach you some shit I wouldn't smoke. You know what I'm saying? There's enough pretendo out there on the streets.
Did all of this stuff, your loves that we know about, did they all come together around the same time? The weed, the cars, the music. Like, tell me in the order when you started to fall in love with those.
Okay. Well, the cars were first because
number one.
My mom.
Hot Wheels first or regular?
I bought me Hot Wheels when I behaved in the grocery store. Because you know the grocery store have all those different aisles. I used to just dip off, go to the magazine aisle, tear pictures of cars that I like out of it, go to the Jet magazine and flip to page 43 for the beauty of the week, tear her out that bitch, put her in my back pocket. I stole Lisa Bonet. I tore the page out of the Jet magazine, whatever year that was, as a child. I went to the magazine aisle, peeled her ass out of fucking beauty of the week, folded it up, put it in my back pocket, and went back and helped my mom grocery shop.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I seen Lisa Bonet and Angel Heart, that kind of changed my life.
So whenever I didn't do shit like that, my mom would grab me a couple of Hot Wheels at checkout. So that's how where my love for that came from. The music was simultaneous because as soon as I could hear music, I loved music. My mom could show you pictures of me fucking up their vinyl collection when I couldn't even talk because I used to play with records. I used to just walk around with records. And you know that piece you got to put on a 45 so it could play? That little fucking thing you got to add on the record player to make the 45s play. I don't know the name of those. But I used to have a fucking
adapter piece, yeah.
a bag full of them shits, just full of fucking adapters. So I always was into the music. And when I started listening, when Snoop and them came out, I already knew like a Time and Dog and all that shit already, just from my mom and dad, because I grew up in the card game house. Like my house was the house where fucking everybody wife was at, hanging with my mom, playing cards, smoking cigarettes and drinking and talking shit about their husbands and shit. I was a little dude, you know, like bringing drinks to fucking Miss fucking Claudine and shit. I was like that little dude, so I always heard all that music. LTD, Jeffrey Osborne, fucking the Emotions, like Don't Ask My Neighbor. My mom used to listen to Don't Ask My Neighbor every night.
Man, you know what I love so much about that time is that music was just, it wasn't segregated. You know, like I always say, man, when I was a kid growing up listening to music in New York, I remember just my mother had a clock radio, and that clock radio, when it woke up, it woke me up too. And she had it tuned into the radio station. We would hear Madonna, Luther Vandross.
Yeah, that's Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears.
I understand that's what we grew up in. Like, look, and I appreciate some of the newer kids. That's why I appreciate them, because they listened when they grew up. They had rap music and they had bands like 311, Sublime, System of a Down, Cake. These people did the music that they made, the voice, the tones that the lead singer of 311 used, and ska music. That is the tone that I hear in some of the music. Like when Uzi does shit, Trippy is my homie. When he do shit, when he's really in his experimental doing the shit he want to do, that's the vibe I get from their music. And I'm like, damn, that's hard, because they figured out how to do that shit without outright copying it. Like, that's why I fuck with NERD, because Pharrell was in the street. Pharrell came up in the street and was right next to the Clips cooking bricks, but could still turn around and make fucking Fly or Die and Jump and songs like that, where he had to collaborate with those other groups because he knew that was the sound, but he was bringing it to us. Where I already listened to the original bands too that did that shit, but to hear Pharrell do it too, it was good for me, because it made me not feel so much like a fucking black sheep because of the shit I listened to. It no matter the circumstances growing up in the hood and what the fuck my homies did and what circumstances we all went through, I still was fond of other music and listened to what I wanted to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might be fucking busting the move and we gonna listen to fucking ghetto dope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go inside and listen to Summertime by Sublime. You know what I'm saying? After we go do some fucking hood rat shit with our friends, I'm gonna go inside and listen to Toxicity or some shit, you know?
Let's keep it on skateboard for a minute, because there was a time, because you know we still walking through your career. There was a time Currency is finally putting out an album.
Yeah.
That's the call that I got. Finally putting out an album. We just put him in the studio with Pharrell. They're gonna cook up a single. It's gonna be on. What was that time for you like? Take me back to that.
Tell you what, I had been waiting forever to work with Pharrell, because from afar, you know, he's like a genius to me. So I couldn't wait, you know, to line up with him. I had met him a few times before, because I always had I was blessed to always be around homies who were positive and tasting success and doing things like in the skateboard world, like some of my good friends were some of the best skaters in Los Angeles, and they had the keys to the city.
Right.
And like Terry Kennedy was part of the ice cream skate team. So just off hanging with the homie, we might be trying to just go to El Pollo Loco or something. But then Pharrell will fucking tour with him or some shit, like come by the studio and we'll just slide. And it's like, bam, dude kicking it. But I never really laid it on what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And he had seen me before, like with Lil Wayne and shit. And he knew that I was like integral in bringing the Bape shit to Cash Money. So and BBC looked to Cash Money at that time. So we had that where we had that little thing. So we was cool, but it wasn't my time. Whenever I was around and with Terry Kennedy, it's like, you doing business with Terry Kennedy, I'm not about to tell you about what I'm trying to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you coming to do this shit, whether you talking to Wayne, I'm not about to fucking tell you what my plan or what I want to do.
Right.
But when I finally got my chance, we locked in and we got really tight after that. We started hitting each other because his birthday is the day after mine. So we it just was cool as fuck, bro. Like the first day we worked at his spot, and then the second time I came out to Miami again, and I didn't expect to link up with him again, but he came to Circle House and worked with me then. And then when I realized he really gave a fuck, he sat with the records, and then he was flying somewhere, and he texted me, and he was like, he was explaining some music. He know a lot of music shit, and the reference that he used, I didn't understand it. I had to research it, but he was like, I want us to line back up in the studio. And so I was like, bet. So I went back to Miami, and we got there, and people always respected my pen. I've never had somebody be like, you want to redo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And except for Nigel, who was the A&R of the project at that time. He was at Atlanta. Nigel's a boss, and fucking Pharrell. Okay? And Nigel, I believe, might have suggested it first. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm fucking hard, dog. Like, I nailed it. Like, you kidding me? And then when Pharrell said he wanted to make changes to the record, I thought it was only what he wanted to do, some shit to the hook. And that's what he said at first. But when he got there and we banged the record out, he was like, I feel like that other verse, there's something else you wanted to say. And I was like, oh, like, that's like a artistic way, like, you might want to do this verse again. Like, Nigel was like, my nigga, like, you could have smashed that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nigga, you tripping. But when he said that, I was like, damn, he kind of saying that, but he don't know if he can lay that on me like that. So he could do like this, And I was like, man, if anybody gonna have me go do a verse over, it's gonna be Pharrell. Like,
you gotta do it. If skateboard
you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, dog. I'm gonna just go ahead and go ahead and I'll tell you what, I wrote this other verse, and I did not think that it was better until the album was out for fucking like 2 years. And cause I don't listen to myself. So it took for me to be at sometimes you pop up in the sneaker store and it recognizes you. And you know what? This is what you don't have to do for me. I got love for y'all. I like to show up places and spend my bread. I don't even want to gain the shit for free. But because I'm there, you don't have to fucking go fucking try to dig up records on me or play my shit in the store. If it wasn't on when I walked in there, you know what I'm saying, already or some shit, don't just scramble. But I was at a store and I heard Chasing That Paper. And at first I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What is this? And I'm like, they like, nigga. Like, wait. And then when I started, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, that's what I knew. I felt this. I knew this. I just thought it was a Pharrell song that I liked. And they like, nigga, you tripping. Like, I came on that bitch running it. So I sat there and I tuned in and I remembered the situation. And when that verse dropped, I said, oh, I smoked my previous verse. I'm like, I could not. I'm so glad they didn't let me step out with that fucking verse. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
And you know who I heard did that too? I heard when they was making Thriller, they went back verse for verse, Meticulous, and whatever verse that wasn't great enough, they just rewrote it and did it over. That's what I heard. Mike ain't tell me that personally, so I know it's a lot of Mike Jackson fans. Don't say that I'm not telling the truth. This is what I heard. This is the disclaimer.
I was listen. The lyrics to Thriller are some of the darkest, most morbid, horrific fucking words strung together. I used to perform Michael Jackson Thriller at my grandma's house, or whenever we have gatherings and the little talented guy would have to perform, I would sing Thriller because they had the lyrics in the album cover. And that little sketch of Frankenstein and the werewolf with the TV, I wasn't afraid of that. I wasn't scared of Thriller till I saw what the fuck it was.
Illest album cover ever, though, if you had the vinyl.
But after I saw the video and I read the lyrics, that shit, when we get done with this, everybody go look at the lyrics to Thriller.
Vincent Price. You know what else was a little, if we talking about morbid, Mike, but I love it? Smooth Criminal. Annie, are you okay? I
didn't realize that song was dark until Alien Ant Farm remade it.
Right.
Do you remember Alien?
I do. It was on that show that was on MTV for.
And they did that shit, and I'm like, oh, like Mike walked in to fucking people that like had been shot to death. People are like, some people are done. Did you know that's what the fuck happened? He walked. There's a crime scene.
Well, I know it was a crime scene, but I read it was about Jack the Ripper and what Jack the Ripper did to one of his victims. We gotta go back and listen to and read the lyrics. But that's the great thing about music is that you can interpret it the way that you.
Nobody's wrong, you know.
Yeah,
it's like painting. It could be anything. You know, everybody's looking at it a different way, man.
I got a question from my guy Will Cologne, my brother. He says, "Spitter, where's part 2 to your DJ Fresh project?"
It's in my computer. It's in this very computer that we're working on right now.
Right.
Me and Fresh got about 45 records. So when you ask me about part 2, you got to ask about part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We got cuts, bro. I haven't been in the studio in a minute, but my friends will tell you that when I go, I do 7 records a day. And there's times where I go 4 times out the week. You know what I'm saying? So I have so many records, bro. It's just instead of going through the hard drive recently to put out the last few projects, those are things I just recorded recently. And then I just dropped the green tape last week. I dropped that Friday, produced by the homie Cardo. And the lyrics were kind of reflective of what we were dealing with right now, you know, because I only really rap about what I'm doing. So with bars about hand sanitizer and shit like that, like I guess it's time we just go ahead and throw that out right now. I think that's why it's doing so good, man. Fucking, I'm not a person who watches the charts and shit like that, but the green tape is doing well. That's cool, man.
You know, when I knew things was really getting serious. Well, first of all, when they canceled South by Southwest, I said, "Oh man."
Yeah.
But then when they canceled the Essence Music Festival, like what? Forget the NBA, forget the MLB, the sports. I mean, breaking the
news for the Cougars.
Essence Music Festival.
Fucked it up for the Cougars, man. Hot ladies, man. Hot fucking Cougars for fucking Essence Festival. And nobody gets a chance at those ladies this year because they're not going to be outside with their sundresses on, going to see Erykah Badu or going to the Super Lounge. They're not going to be doing it, man. So I don't even know. What happens, you know, I'm not single, so I don't know. What happens for people, you know, like now, like, how do you even Mac Daddy? How do you even do it?
I mean, I guess it'll be some sliding in the DMs or something.
Yeah. Do you want just fucking so-and-so with the big booty coming to your house. It's like, sweetheart, I don't know who sneezed in your face before you got here. I don't know, like, what if you pumped gas without gloves before you came here, bitch? You know, I don't know. It's wild out there right now. So
nah, you gotta go through a whole check.
you gotta set them out.
You know how Rick Grimes asked the people a list of questions before he could join the crew. That's what you gotta do. You gotta have your questions right. You gotta make sure that they gloves don't have holes in them or nothing like that. They mask is on point.
Man,
Pelicans was showing some heart too, man.
Yes, fuck.
Zion was
and now the world is closed. That's what happens. That's what happens. Your dog gets a couple of Rolls Royces. The Pelicans start doing well, and then the world fucking goes
crazy.
That is just on pause right now. I hope Zion drinking water and doing sit-ups and shit. Niggas just need to stay active. Play as much 2K as you want, and then go in your fucking home courts. The good thing, these dudes got paper. So they got the home courts and shit at their houses and shit. Get back there and play ball, man. Social distance, fucking bang out some jump shots and shit. Stay ready because we're gonna need y'all. Like, actually, athletes are gonna be the new first responders. Not to take anything away from real first responders, but like when they step back out, it's kind of important that they get back out and perform well, because everybody's like, we're dependent on shit, you know?
We need it. I just got an ill question for you too, man. I think they got it said, Currency, would you please name your top 5 90s? It says all groups. I think it meant to say top 5 90s R&B groups. That's from Bootlegger Rec. Bootlegger Rec, if I'm mistaken, right, the right question, but I think it says top 5 90s R&B groups. I think
SWV
out there.
SWV, because Use Your Heart and Not Your Eyes fucking made me cry about this girl that I used to hang out with who went to my homie's church. Like, I started going to this church because of this girl. And then one day she was just like, oh, I know you kissed Monique or something at your school. Or something.
But that was you. That was your fault.
Well, yeah, but she found out. That's crazy that they got to the church. Like, my school was uptown, and she knew what I did on the basketball court with this broad. But nonetheless, SWV, you know what I'm saying?
I had a crush on Lily too.
Do you remember Parlay?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay. I have that shit in my lowrider outside right now.
Okay.
So with that said, I like this too. Now what these boys' name was? Damn, I can't think of their name. But they sung the song Gangsta Lean.
Oh, this is for my homies.
This is for my homies. They had some hard low riding going on in that video. I didn't really get into the rest of the stuff. I didn't check it out, but they deserve to be mentioned right now. There's super groups I could speak on. Of course, Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fool, but the dudes who made This Is For My Homies were insane to me. All right, now 5. I gotta make it a good one, bro. So many going through my mind right now. Ooh.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I know it was DRS.
Okay. Yeah, I almost said D4L, but I knew that wasn't
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
DRS, yeah. Look, it could be In Vogue, Escape.
All of them. Loved Escape.
Escape had lowriders in their videos, so that kind of make it you kind of near and dear to me when you do shit like that. And fucking Yeah, you a motherfucker.
Here we go.
We have this kind of technology, and this is the first show.
You here, baby?
That's what I mean.
He had way more skills than
Oh, look, it's actually 90s rap.
Why you have to go?
You really want to know what top 5 is?
Rappers, the top 5 rappers.
Yeah, so look, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna go check in with my man before he go to sleep, man.
There we go.
Sleep in the
All
right. I gotta go see my boy. 90s. Well, listen, Hove is timeless.
Hove is from 90s though.
But I fell in love with feeling it and shit, and that's 90s. So
96.
You want maybe people who didn't carry over, maybe, but nah. Listen, LL Scratch, L&L Scratch. Where my homies? I'll take you with Brian McKnight.
I figured out the chorus that Brian McKnight was singing like 10 years later. I thought
you don't want to waste our time.
Don't waste our time, but I thought he was saying something else. But I love the record.
What the fuck else did you think he was saying?
I thought he said if you don't want it, I'll make her mine or something like that.
Oh no, now that's part of the other bar.
Yeah,
that's part of the other bar. Okay, wait. Fucking Mag 10. Dog is timeless. You know what I'm saying? But I guess Dog, because that's when I found Dog, in 93. And fucking BG Knockout. I actually have records with BG Knockout right now, and I kind of want to put something together for him as a Jet Life OG. I kind of want to sign him to. I don't know how you give a record deal to somebody you hold as a legend, and with so many years on you in the game. But I kind of want to give him a fucking record deal. I don't even know how to do that.
Call it a partnership, man. Team.
Yeah, fucking BG Knockout, who y'all heard on NWA, on fucking Eazy-E, Real Compton CDGs. That's a tough record because I love Dog so much, and they was kicking a lot of shit about fucking Dog and Daz and Corrupt up, and that was tough for me because I really loved them too, But that was a hard ass record, and it had some lowriders in it. But BG Knockout. Yeah, so go look some of that shit up.
90s rappers, man, we love them.
DJ Black and Mild, rest in peace, man. Listen, before I check out, COVID-19 is real. I lost 2 buddies so far.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Buddies, peers, not senior citizens or anything like that. Just today, my friend, since I ever had the idea of doing my own thing, and he was a good buddy and helping me try to get that shit right. Today, his wife came to check on him because he was self-quarantined. He sent his family away from him so he could do his 14 days, and she came to check on him today, and he was fucking in the house dead. So that shit is nuts today. Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to lock in and smoke one and get that deal with that the way I need to deal with that yet today, because I was in the driveway fucking with the lowrider. I might have did that all day maybe because I was trying not to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But even in the midst of how much fun we having, it made me remember and think about it. Yeah, it's real. Everybody stay safe. It is. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah.
I'm very sorry to hear that, man.
All right, man. I see they talking about the Manny Fresh battle. Before I roll the Manny, I think. I wish that I was there to maybe pick the records that he played.
Be a corner man.
Yeah, no swipe at who was there, who helped him out. Maybe he did the decision all on his own, but I wish I could have been there to request Cash Money as an Army by BG, because that beat, would have shook the ground.
That's such
there's no way nobody would have been able to not deny that when that would have dropped. I think I could have helped him go through some shit. I understand the idea of the battle. You got to go get your big hits. So he had to get like the one he did. He did one for T.I., he did one for Young Jeezy and shit. They had to run those. I could dig that. But I know some, we on a different level. Like I'm not at that level of megastar. So I feel like my ear is closer to the street. And I know what we fuck with still, and I know what was timeless to us.
Yeah,
Maybe if he'd have dropped that, that would have been.
I felt the same way when I was watching RZA and DJ Premier. I was like, nobody's playing Glaciers of Ice.
Yeah, well, because they gotta come with, they're going for the wow factor, not so much the basement jams and the fucking shit you sold weed to and shit like that, But me, that's what I wanted to hear, that's what I'm thinking about.
All right, man. Well, yo, thank you for everything, my brother.
Yeah, man, it's all good, bro. I'm about to wash my hands and put on a new shirt and shit so I could go be around my little boy before he go to sleep. It's probably heavy around 8 o'clock.
Play that money machine too, man. Let's play that. Fresh out the gate.
Yeah, love. That's BG stuff right there. That's TY. Right there. I brought the Nick out for that. There's only one thing. I thought I had my fucking box of jewelry, and when we started shooting, I realized I ain't had shit with what I had on. The whole fucking scene, I was like, man, I'm kidding, but I'm not feeling it. That's all I think about. But at least I had my jet like game. That's how wearing two things.
Where it always on point, and it was never ready. I lit my joint and dipped in my Chevy.
I appreciate it. Much love, bro. This was shit. Please reach out to me whenever it's going. We ain't walking on Twitter. Just love, especially during the quarantine. We can help just join this video.
Big up to everybody watching on Twitter. The walkthrough episode 2.0. I couldn't have more better guests than Twitter, man. You the best one, brother.
Take me from jet life commandments. Thou shalt not rest until I make my whole fam rich. Fuck you, take me from. No ham, omelets, I'm on my and them niggas is still asleep. Rest in peace, close the box on them. Views from the top, like top of the morning in the black McLaren.